A bit late to the party, but the League One and League Two playoffs have now come to an end, and we've got some reactions.
Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk EFL. I'm James.
And I'm Millie.
And we are in sunny Norfolk on a holiday. So that's the reason why our video is a little bit late. So apologies for that. But we're going to get into it. First of all, we're going to discuss the League One playoff final.
So that was Bolton 0, Oxford 2.
Yeah. Very, very convincing win for Oxford. I was a bit disappointed in Bolton, to be fair.
I did say, though, that they looked a bit rattled going into it. So Barnsley kind of ruffled their feathers up a little bit by the looks of it. And in my last prediction, I actually got one right. Yeah! I actually said 2-1 because I thought that Bolton would give them more of a game. But Oxford were brilliant. They looked great, didn't they?
Fantastic. I mean, my prediction was completely wrong up at 4-2 to Bolton. I did think it was going to be a high-scoring game, but I was wrong. And yeah, Oxford just were unbelievable.
It looked like they had a master plan in that game, and they executed that down to the T.
Yes.
So I don't think Bolton looked like they were even close to getting anything out of that game.
No, from what I saw, it was... Sorry, Bolton, but it was all Oxford. Although, overall, Bolton had more possession, but Oxford just sussed them out easily.
They did their research, didn't they? Definitely.
Yeah, they did do their research. You could see from the defence, Oxford's defence, they just played the ball over the top to Josh Murphy most of the time anyway, and it seemed to work. Oxford just sussed them out with it.
Yeah, Josh Murphy was really clinical as well in that game. He was a bit unlucky to not get the hat-trick in the end.
Yeah.
But he looked really dead happy at the end, and it was quite cute actually that he mentioned his brother.
Brentford versus Newcastle, wasn't it? So hopefully he got to go and see him, and then vice versa the next day.
Yeah. In terms of Bolton, while Oxford won quite convincingly in that game, I do think that Bolton will be back in the Championship quite soon, just based off of the season that they've had. They were not quite hitting the spot in the playoffs, but that was their first attempt back. So I do think that they will be back soon.
Yeah, I think they may have had a bit of stage fright. First time back at Wembley for a while. I think it could be next season.
Could be, yeah.
I don't think they'll go up as champions or automatic. I think they could pull off the playoffs again.
Go again in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And how do you think Oxford's chances in the Championship stand at the moment? I mean, they looked strong in that game. I think they could do well in the Championship, depending on, obviously, keeping and retaining certain players.
Yeah, definitely.
And whether those kinds of tactics will pay off in the Championship. Much more competitive in the Championship. League One, by no means, is an easy league to get out of, but that tactic works in League One, and it works in playoffs in League One.
Championship's different gravy to League One, but League One is really, really competitive. I think Oxford's chances of survival are slim, but it's not impossible. Again, as you said, I'm just echoing what you're saying about retaining players and bringing new players in to improve the squad. So if they played the way they were playing in the final, then I can't see them, having much of a problem with staying up. I don't think they're going to finish mid-table. I think they'll finish lower half. I don't think they'll finish dead last either. I think it'll be one of those ones where it may come down to the last day of the season. I think they might surprise a few teams.
So you're kind of saying relegation battle could potentially stay up. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what, when I say they could do quite well in the Championship, in terms of what their goal will be in the Championship, which is to stay up next season. They could do that well. They may not. It could. I also think that they will be in with the relegation clubs, but that will be will they, won't they, sort of thing until it happens.
I mean, I don't think personally that they'll do a Rotherham basically and just capitulate, just drop and stay there. I think they will put up a fight. I think they'll be very much like a Plymouth next season, but just a little bit lower. So it could come down to the last day. I don't know. it's difficult. I quite like the way that Oxford play their football, and I hope that they bring that into the Championship. So
yeah,
fingers crossed they survive. But who knows? We'll do our Championship predictions and League One predictions and League Two predictions very, very soon.
And I just want to say congratulations, Oxford, for making it to the Championship. I know we've just been discussing your prospects, but first and foremost, before you start anything, congratulations for winning the playoffs.
Yep, well done.
On to League Two now. We had Crawley 2, Crew 0. So Crawley are promoted to League One.
Yes, and very convincingly, I have to say. Crew, there were some spells where they played quite well, but their goalkeeper, Crawley's goalkeeper...
Oh, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really good. He kept Crawley in the game. But, Orsey and Kelly, especially Orsey, he's been mustard for them all season. So I think that was his 25th goal. Don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is his 25th or 26th goal.
Wow, yeah.
So he's done really, really well. I think it'll be quite hard to keep him next season.
Well, they're in League One now, so they may keep him. You never know. I do want to say, I know I said in the last video about Crawley winning 8-1 against MK Dons, and they were completely convincing. But, rewinding it back even further, everyone was talking about Doncaster going into these playoffs, weren't they?
Including us.
Yep, including us. And when it turned out the story all along was Crawley. So convincing in the semi-finals, it was ridiculous. Against MK Dons, who were strong all season, pretty much. And then going through the playoffs the way that they did, going about it the way they did, showed brilliant spirit, showed what they could do. They were favourites to go down, one of the favourites to go down that season, and they end up going up through the playoffs. So if you're a Crawley fan, I bet that must have been, what a season.
Yeah,
for you. Yeah, amazing.
As you said, Crawley one of the favourites to go down. Again, their season overall has been obviously absolutely fantastic. They were tipped to go down and they've gone up. But going sort of back to Doncaster and MK Dons, this is the reason why form goes out the window in the playoffs. Everyone's putting their pounds on Doncaster and MK Dons to get to the final and one of those to go up. And
do you know what's so funny though?
What's that?
Is that throughout our predictions, we've gone on form.
We've gone on form,
but we keep saying
form's out the
we
window.
keep trying to remind ourselves form goes out the window in the playoffs, and that showed already in both playoff finals and the semi-finals. Really, that form means nothing.
No, they're cup finals, aren't they? So you got the first leg and second leg. That's a cup final in itself, and then you've got the actual cup final. So it's 3 games. That's all you need. 3 games, and then you either stay in the division or you get promoted and go into a new division. And
do you have the bottle and the confidence on the day to actually execute it? That's all it goes down to. Form is nothing. And next time we do our predictions, because we will do them still, even though they went terribly, we need to bear in mind form goes out of the window. When we did our sort of rejuvenated ones and we did the finals, we didn't do too badly in the end. Well, I didn't anyway. I got Oxford and I got Crawley. So, shush.
I put 3-2 to Crawley after extra time. I thought it was going to be a much closer game than it was. But Crawley, as we all know, convincing.
Also, I just want to say that was Crawley's first time at Wembley.
Yeah.
Did so well. 100% record at Wembley as well. So, what a day. And what a season for Crawley fans.
Absolutely. And the weather was nice as well.
And it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
So congratulations, Crawley. I just want to ask you, as we've spoken about in the League One playoff segment, what do you think to Crawley's chances in League One?
Well, League One is Championship Mark 2. More recently, it's a much bigger step from League 2 to League One than it was a few years ago, a good few years ago anyway. I think it's going to be really tough for them, but I'm not going to write them off.
You learned that lesson.
Yeah, you can't write anyone off, but I think it'll be the same as Oxford. They may surprise us, but I think they will be there or thereabouts in survival in League One.
Yeah, when the aim will be survival that season, so you would expect to see them.
I'd hope for them to accomplish survival.
Of course, yeah, and I always say this, but I hate seeing teams go up and then go straight back down again. So in my heart of hearts, obviously I do not want Crawley or Oxford to be relegated next season.
No.
Just because I like seeing promoted clubs flourish. That being said, I mean, I want to say that I don't think Crawley will do that well, but as I just said, I wrote them off going into even these playoff predictions, and they proved me wrong. So as the saying goes, once bitten, twice shy. I'm not writing Crawley off. I'm not going to say that they'll get relegated. I agree. I think they will be somewhere in the bottom half of the table, hopefully a bit higher than relegation battle. But you can expect to see teams like that in relegation battles in their first season.
Especially because of the gulf in quality. Now in League One, like I mentioned earlier, it is Championship Mark 2 now.
There's certainly business to be done in League One, and when you come up, you will expect to have to do some business to survive in the league. So hopefully they have a good window. And so, again, same goes with Oxford. If they have good windows, you cannot write them off.
Yep, I mean both teams will probably have the lowest, if not one of the lowest budgets in the league, but
it doesn't mean
anything because
Luton had the lowest budget in the league in the season that they were in the Championship, that they got promoted to the Premier League. So that really and truly means nothing. If you've got that sort of team spirit, you've got a good manager, you've got some experience in your squad and some hungry players in the squad, there's no saying where you can go and the heights that you can achieve. So yep, all speculative chat now. And it is just being boring and basically saying, oh, well, they've just been promoted from the league below, so you kind of expect them to go down, but you never know.
For Oxford, it's going to be a fantastic, season back in the Championship. And then for Crawley, it's going to be a fantastic season back in League One. Different grounds to go to, different experiences. So
enjoy the summer, and then enjoy your new season in your new league. I think that's everything. Have you got anything else to say?
No, apart from just good luck to both teams.
If you like the video, please comment, and please subscribe. Please let us know if you agree with what we've said so far about the prospects of the teams that have gone up. If you agree about our analysis, our very slight analysis of the games. And until next time, see you
then.